Thank you everyone for joining us on the Midday Show live. And today is actually, a little bit bright because the August rain is finally leaving us at least to breathe. And we thank God for that. And of course, you know what we do on this show. So we welcome you even as we start the discussion. And I do this with Linda, Philip, Ali. Don't complain.
I
Do
won't complain this
not
time around. Let me
complain.
just keep quiet.
Of course, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good afternoon. How's your day been?
Great.
So thank you for joining us on the Midday Show live today, and we are live on Facebook and YouTube. Do well to drop your comments. I will take it live on the show.
Of course, do well to drop your comment immediately. We must have introduced to you where we are. And actually, I actually love where I am. And I'm thinking, do I want to go back to where I came from?
No way.
Yes, I
No
know.
way.
So you see, this place is actually
Yeah, of
interesting.
course.
And if you want to know where we are,
Around.
accepting them, giving them jobs, especially when you are, visiting them with the knowledge of, educational knowledge, where most of these people don't really know how to speak English. So when you have a background knowledge of, English and other things that you need to, teach these people there, you are so welcome. And whatever work actually you want to do there, trust me, you are welcome.
Yeah, actually, Bahrain is a beautiful place, and that's why we're saying we don't want to go back. Like, you just want to stay here, you just want to have fun, you just want to enjoy, you just want to do everything that is going to make you happy. But Bahrainians are very happy people. They're welcoming people. And then, as you know, like when you say you are in Bahrain, and whatever it is you want to do in Bahrain is actually welcoming for you, because so far as you know what you are doing, they said experience. If you have the experience of a particular thing you want to do, they welcome you a lot, because they know you're going to teach them that thing, and then they know they will learn and then actually do what you ask them to do. And to talk about education as well, if you're educated and then you know what you are doing, they actually welcome you again. That shows that people in Bahrain are welcoming, and they are peaceful people. Bahrain is a very beautiful place that you don't want to leave for anything. You can go there to do anything you want to do. You can achieve all you want to achieve, and then all to the best of it. So then you can't tell me you're in Bahrain and then you can't have phone. You can't tell me you're in Bahrain and then you can't go to places. You can't tell me you're in Bahrain and you cannot work. So far as you know what you're doing, they offer jobs over there. So you have to know that, okay, I am here, I know what I'm doing, I am here, I know I can offer something. So far as you have something to offer, they are willing to welcome you, they are willing to accept you, they're willing to do things with you over there.
Even though I would want to say one thing, apart from the name, one thing I like about Bahrain is the fact that shopping is a big deal, especially for the women.
When you talk about shopping, you know what it means.
And I always appreciate countries where the men, know their
women.
No. The men know what they should do at the right time, giving the women the joy they need. And trust me, when they say a happy home, a happy wife is a happy home. And these people know this thing for sure, that if they make their wives happy, the family, the house is going to be happy. And that is why, most times the women go shopping, just to please themselves, and most times in Bahrain, actually, the women, it's just like 15% of the women that work.
Yeah.
Mostly it is the men who go out. They just feel, okay, it is the responsibility of the man to go out and, do what he needs to do, bring back, and take care of his family. And that is what, why are you smiling? Because I said take care of his family. And you think, I love working. I love working. I love, taking care of myself. But it is more beautiful to see how somebody is making it a deliberate thing, to take care of you. And I think that is the one reason I said maybe I will not come back again.
Of course, you know that. You have to say it gently.
I definitely have to say it gently because I don't want some people to hear.
Yeah.
But then it is a fun thing. And all their malls, most of their malls are air conditioned. Like when you enter there,
you just feel relaxed. You feel at home, like,
And then the time will just pass without you even knowing that actually. And then some people, find it like a fun thing to do in Bahrain when they just go for window shopping.
Yeah.
And I think I hate window shopping because you just go there. Most times window shopping is for you to go and then check prices and all. But then you just go there, you don't have the money. then you just go there and see so many things that you
Actually,
love
it's
and you can't
frustrating though. It's
and you can't
frustrating,
afford.
yeah.
So I don't like window shopping. If I have the money, I would rather just go. But this is another fun thing the women
Yeah,
or
actually.
people do there, to just go there, to check what is happening, what is in the mall, and just to have fun. But I can remember being in Lagos,
Okay.
coming back to Nigeria. I went to a mall, and it is a different thing. People go to malls these days not just for them to buy things.
Buy
People just
things,
go
yeah,
to malls
just
to
to meet
snap
people, snap
pictures,
pictures,
and
meet
then
people, and just see what you want.
but actually to me that's waste of time though, to be honest.
Yeah, actually, that's what you feel though. But then some people find it very, very like it's interesting for them to do. It's just a way of having fun. Like you can say some people, you sitting down at home, you can feel you staying at home, you're having fun because you're playing games and you're doing all sorts of things. And someone else can tell you, if I am home, is bored, even if I'm playing games, even if I'm watching movies, he feels it's better for him to go out to have fun over there. Like, so like we people differ. That's why when you talk about going to Bahrain, when you talk about staying in Bahrain and doing a lot of things, you realize what you are doing is for your own good. Like whatever it is you want to do, is just put a smile on your face and try to put a smile on someone else's face. Because once you realize Bahrain are happy people. So when you talk about seeing someone and then you're not welcoming, like it's something difficult about being over there, and all the things that you want to do, you realize you're doing is because you just want to do, because you want to be happy. So then when you realize you're with someone that is happy, why wouldn't you just be happy? Don't just try to transfer aggression, or don't just try to be like, okay, because you're not happy so you make another person not be happy. It's not possible. So far as you meet someone and then the person is happy, you don't have a choice.
Is it possible that you're not happy and then you make people happy?
It's not possible, but it depends on the spirit you have.
Okay.
Yes, because you can't do transfer of aggression most times. Like sometimes you can just feel you want to be left alone, you don't want to talk to anybody. But then like in a short while you can just realize, okay, fine, you can just come to your sense and realize, I'm not supposed to be doing this. Like someone is happy and then I'm trying to make the person sad because I am sad. So like even the Bible says try to make someone happy. So why would you want to just be sad all through and then not make anybody smile?
No, you can't be sad all through, and that is something you can't find, in Bahrain, because they are actually a very happy people, just the way you said, and they are welcoming. They are, another thing, it's an island country that has like 83, islands, and definitely, as a tourist or as a visitor, most people want to go to those beaches and just have fun. And one thing these people really like doing is just to suck up to the sun. They can just go to beaches, sit down, or is it to lay down, I don't know, and then they just want to face the sun and get some vitamin D, which is actually very, very important. And I think these days, I don't know, I'm just feeling like I just want that vitamin D in me. It's just a way of you taking care of yourself. And trust me, if you don't take care of yourself, there's no way you can be well.
Of course.
Because and taking care of yourself doesn't have to be with you wearing clothes or you being happy. But you being happy, yes. But what makes you happy is another thing again. Because some people don't really know all the things that consist, of them being happy. Apart from eating well, you have to dress well, you have to, communicate with people well, you have to take care of your mental health, which is, exercising, being in a very good place, and being in a very good place, which also has to do with is either if you are alone or you are with people who give you the positive vibe instead of the negative vibe. And one thing about negativity, when you're with negative people, just the way you mentioned how you don't have to put it to people, when you're sad you make people sad, because negativity has a faster way of rubbing off on people, like in the twinkle of an eye. So just make yourself happy, and these people actually really have different ways of making themselves happy, which is going to the beach, sitting under the sun, just for them to suck up to the sun, and by the time you're done with that, you just feel more energized. And there are some simple things that people should actually start doing to take care of themselves. So if we're talking about just imagine somebody saying, this people don't even have time, so you think I have time to just go and sit down, be facing the sun for what? But it is for your own good. Whatever you're rushing or whatever you want to do that you think you don't have time to take care of, to do those
all the
little things.
yeah.
At the end of it, you won't even have the energy to even do them because you did
Yeah.
not even take care of what you're supposed to take care of in the beginning. So it is really important for people to take care of themselves very well and go to the beaches and just do
Yeah,
something
of
that will just make
course.
you happy.
If you don't do anything that's going to make you happy, what are you doing to yourself? You're just actually trying to enjoy yourself deep inside, because it's more like you be a sadist, or you just be someone that is just always reserved and all of that. Bahranis are actually people that welcome you, and they are happy people. So why wouldn't you want to be happy? You know, when you talk about things they do over there, going to the beaches and all of that, because it's sunny over there. Like, if you can't just say rain falls like maybe in a year like just 10 times, like, and then so like when you have rain falling for just 10 days, like maybe within like maybe not just on a stretch, like maybe it falls today, it doesn't tomorrow, and then it does like maybe after a week or thereabout, like just 10 days yearly. So like, you know, it's a sunny country. Like, this is where you just want to sit, you just want to relax, you just want to feel at home, you just want to give yourself a treat. It's not just working and maybe cooking, or doing all the chores at home and all of that. At least you want to hang out with friends once in a while. In as much as they do that a lot, in as much as they do all the things they want to do just to put a smile on people's faces. So why wouldn't you want to be one of these things? Like, why wouldn't you want to put yourself in their shoes? Why wouldn't you want to do the way they do? Because they said if you live with people, you have to act like them, like their culture. You have to believe in their culture as well. You can't just visit someone in his home and you can't just, you just feel like, okay, let's say for instance you're going to see someone and you have to take off your shoes from the door, and then you won't do that. Like, it's going to be something annoying to the people that are actually welcoming you.
My home, my rules, actually.
You
So if
see,
you're
so
coming
you
to my
see,
house, you have to.
you have to abide by the rules for
Definitely.
the moment, because it's not going to last for like forever. It's just going to be maybe a couple of minutes or hours. So then maybe just an hour. So you can just stay there and just obey and then abide by it, and then that's all, and then there'll be peace. If you want to have peace, you need to give out peace. So like, there's nothing like saying because this person, like, okay, because I'm in his house and then he's treating me. No. You're in his house, so you have to obey. You have to abide by the rules in the house, just the way the Bahrainians do. In as much as they welcome you to their home, they give you all the things you need. They actually offer everything that you desire just to make you comfortable. So that's the more reason why, so far as you're comfortable, some people will tell you feel at home, then you feel you can just do anything you want to do. Like, you can take up the remote, change the station, just do anything. No, at least you should give them some credit. It's their house, so then don't just feel too comfortable that they will not want to welcome you tomorrow again. So you see,
Definitely. It is going to be actually somehow when you go to people's house, because they said feel at home, then you just want to over feel at home.
Do you get
And the person is like, really? Because I
Yeah.
said that, and next time, they will not
They
want
will
to
not want to
welcome
welcome
you.
you again.
And but in Bahrain, actually, most, because of how their culture is,
Yeah.
they have this kind of way of protecting a female gender. So, in fact, for you to be able to come to the house, it has to be that they trust you. So you have to be trustworthy for these
they
people to actually bring you to the house, because they don't really get so free allowing a female be with a male. In fact,
yeah.
do you know in Bahrain, actually, the girls and the boys
Don't
go
go
to
to the same
different
school.
schools.
Yeah.
Not to talk of, if a visitor should come to the house, especially if it's a male visitor, the women cannot be found there. They can serve everything they want to serve and then
Yeah, but
just
then
be at a place. Then the visitor can come. When they are
just
done
visit and
talking,
leave.
then the female gender can come out. So if you think you want to go to the house and act anyhow,
Anyhow, it's
no, they
not
have
possible,
strict
yeah.
rules when it comes to their female gender. Talking about female gender, I think educationally they had like the boys schools, the boys started like schooling like 9 years before the ladies, before the female, because they felt like the women, not because, and the reason why they didn't allow a female education from beginning is because it's not like they made it look like, okay, females are supposed to be in the house, no, but because they just feel like, okay, these people are fragile people, they need to be protected, they need to be taken care of. And just the way I said, these people they know their responsibility, they know what they should do, and then I love the fact that they love protecting the female gender. But in this case, no matter how you protect someone, you can't protect, like, you can't just do everything. And they knew it was affecting the female gender, the fact that they can't go
Go
to
to
school, so
school.
they had to, introduce school, and the female gender go to school. Just the way we talked about how just 15% of the
Yeah.
women work, while the other percent is for male. But still, yet, they are growing. They are really, really seeing, the possibility of, allowing the female to be, in practice when it comes to work, and just being allowed to go out, even though I don't think you can be that fool, but still, yet, they are really trying to see how they can protect their female gender, even as they go out. And, most times, talking about working, and then, workplaces, there are some workplaces who do not know Christ, definitely, and then they just feel like they want to take advantage of the female gender. I
Yeah.
think that is one of the reasons why these people just don't really
stops
want to
them,
involve
yeah.
women when it comes to them, going out and being too exposed to the outside world. They would rather, okay, you stay in the house, cook, clean, wait for your husband to come, and then take care of
Just
you.
take care of him. Talking about education and saying they don't go to school at the same time. They said even if it's in a village, like all these rural areas where there are no much schools over there, they said even if it's just a school, the male will go to school in the morning, and then the female will go to school in the afternoon, just because you don't want them to be together. And then more like I was asking myself, like, why is it like that?
Abuse.
Okay, fine. Abuse, but then does that mean it's always?
It is not always, and well, that is, I don't want to really go into, saying what I feel, because they definitely have some things maybe they had to consider before, allowing
Actually.
things to be like that.
Yeah.
But, they said there's a high level of abuse between men and women. And trust me, sometimes I just feel like, okay, separating them for, almost everything.
Yeah.
They don't get to rub minds. They don't
get to
get to interact
understand
with
each
each
other,
other. They don't
yeah.
get to, understand each other's pains. So sometimes it is more like, I don't know what you're feeling, so I can't be
I can't know what to do.
sympathetic
Yeah,
with
of
you.
course.
So I can't sympathize with you. So most times it is more like them trying to withdraw them, separating them, and then it is making it look like it is more of like a harm than of good.
Yeah, it's actually good to some extent. It's actually good because they are just protecting them. Like, okay, I think maybe during the school time and then all of that, but then some of them should have siblings. Some of them
They
should have
have.
siblings, yeah, at home, and then they understand each other. But then some will want to actually talk to other people that are not blood related, other people that they don't even have anything to do with, maybe just students, like maybe just your mates in school and all of that. There are things that you can learn from a male person that you don't really know, and then you understand. Like, you can't just sit in a place and maybe you see people, they go to beaches to relax. So does that, okay, there's actually a different part for women, there's different parts for men. They just go there to sit and relax. They actually have fun over there. They actually do things they want to do to make them happy. They're not complaining. Like, we just understand that when you are in a place, you just have to adapt to the thing that's happening over there. You just have to get used to it. You just have to understand this is how it is for you to just work with it like that. You can't say you're in a place and then something is happening over there and then you cannot just accept it. You have to accept it because you are there. Unless you leave that place, then you can go back to where you're coming from. But for me, I don't think I want to go back because I just want to stay and have fun and go to beaches, go for shopping, meet people, talk to people, understand how people talk. And once they realize you can speak English over there, like, they just want to have you to them because they understand, okay, you can, and then they will learn from you as well. So then they're actually taking that advantage from you, that you learn, you know how to speak English, and then they will learn from you. Then you understand what you're saying and what they are actually saying as well. So then when you know that you are somewhere like that, you cannot just think of leaving immediately. You have to just think of doing things that will make you happy. For me, I don't think I want to, because for the men to take care of their women over there, it's something that is interesting. Do you understand? Because if let's say for instance, maybe you go to work and then you don't really stay for maybe let's say the 6-7 hours thing in the office, and then you come back home to prepare for your husband, like maybe food, get the house ready, and then the children and all of that. They work tirelessly, the men, just to take care of their family. Then they do that diligently. Like, they do that to make you know that they care about you. It's something for you to know that someone cares so much about you. Like, he gives you everything you ask of. He gives you all that he knows you need. So it's something for you to be excited about. So like, why would you just want to leave a particular place like that you know you're actually having
So what
fun?
are you insinuating? Are you trying to say you're getting... Okay, let's just talk about something else. I want to talk about the fact that, no matter how good a place is, you definitely find something that is,
Yeah.
you start weighing. Okay, are you really... children these days, children are very smart these days, and like they'll just talk to you in a way you'll be like, "Ooh, I just
You
gave
just
birth
say
to this
that.
one just yesterday, and then today the person is like
Yeah.
this." But the difference is, the thing is, in Bahrain, young people don't really have a voice.
Of
Young
course,
people
yeah.
can't really make a decision
Listen,
for themselves. Young people can't even talk
talk.
when the older ones are saying something. So it is actually, to me, I just feel it brings like there's this it the growth is not going to be so fast, because they need to express themselves. If you don't allow young people to express themselves, especially children growing
Of
up,
course.
if you don't allow them to express themselves, there's this timidity
Yeah.
that enters them. They start acting like they
They
don't
don't
really
know
want
what
to
they
talk.
yeah.
Or maybe if somebody is saying something, and trust me, they would have in their minds, they probably have
A
the
lot to
best
say.
solution or the best answer to maybe a
It's a
problem or a
problem.
challenge. But because of the fact that it is in their rule, or it is in their culture,
Yeah.
when the older people are talking,
You
you
can't
don't
just
talk.
talk.
In fact, it's not a matter of you not talking, but you
Yeah.
don't even have an opinion, or when it comes to making decision or something. So it's really, I just feel is, it weighs someone down when you have a lot to
To
say,
say, and then
because
you don't
people
have
have
the
a lot to say
opportunity, of
actually.
course.
Then you just feel like, I'm not important, and people need to feel important so
Of
that
course.
their creativity, their uniqueness can come out. But still, yet it is actually one of the unique thing about these people, because it's
Yeah.
actually very funny how young people cannot say something, but still, it is, if you check it, it is a unique thing, because that is how they are. Even though it is actually very rare. There are some countries where, for the fact that the moral is actually one of the key things, but still yet you see people, young people have a say. Young people can say
Say
something. Young people
something.
can make decisions for themselves. You can't say anything your parents say, it is what you
It is
take.
what it is.
Just like, I can remember there was a time my younger sister was supposed to go to a school. Everything was set for her to go to the school, and she said she didn't want the school. And trust me, the school is actually
Best.
one of the best secondary schools in Jos.
Yeah.
She said no, she didn't want to go to that school. She started, and it was looking like this girl, she's not going to go anywhere here. Do you know the reason why?
No.
Because somebody was going to a school, and then she felt like, okay, she wants to go to that school. She actually left the school. My parents actually made her to go and went to the school. Her
On
friend
her
went.
own.
Not really on her own. She
Okay.
made it look like, okay, I cannot learn in this place. And you know
Yeah.
how children sometimes, they can just make you feel like, okay, let's just go with the flow. So they agreed. She went by herself. One
She
term she
left.
came back. Till today, there's a food she doesn't eat because of that school.
Oops.
So sometimes people need to make
Yeah.
mistakes and then grow
Go
through
through
it,
it, yeah.
so that they will know better.
Of
When
course.
people talk to them, they will know better what that thing is. And I'm not saying at all times it is good
Yeah.
for you to allow your children make decisions, no. But there are some, it is good also when you allow them do it, and then they figure it out by
Yeah.
themselves. They will retrace, and then they will even work better, because they know it now, and then they know what to do
Yeah.
next.
You know, when you're talking about making decision, like it's actually something, just put yourself in someone's shoes that you can't actually express yourself, be it in public or maybe in school or maybe somewhere you find yourself that you want to talk. They don't allow you to say anything. It's frustrating. At some point, like someone like me, I can't even take that. Like growing up, I know that, okay, fine, like to some extent, at some point we were scared of my dad. Like you can't just talk to him. At some point, like once you see his face is not smiling, you know you're not supposed to talk to him. But then it
Really?
got to, yeah, because maybe he was frustrated at work, or maybe something happened. Then he just comes home, and then he will just try to transfer aggression. So you try to run away from him. But then it got to a point that you had to say something. Like we had to sit him down to tell him this thing he's doing is wrong. Like he's making us scared of coming close to him. This was something that it was more like a bold step we took. And after we did that, it just came to him that, okay, this thing that I'm doing is actually affecting these children, so I need to adjust. So even if he has issues at work or maybe on his way back something happened, once he gets home, his mood will definitely change to good, because he knows that his children are actually learning a different thing from him. So it's something for you to know that, for me to learn at that stage of trying to express myself, how I feel and all of that. Just imagine someone in a situation where he can't even express himself. The children in Bahrain, they really have issues of expressing themselves. They said even if you're doing something that you can't, like even the police will actually harass you because you're trying to express yourself. Like they see it like it's something wrong. To me, I feel okay, maybe they feel it's disrespectful for maybe an older one is talking and then you want to just chip in or you want to just say something. But I feel there's a way it can be done. When you're talking to somebody, maybe let's say for instance, it's respectful for an elderly person to talk to you. Then you can just be quiet. Then once it's done, then you can say something. Like it's just for you to just say something, to give your opinion.
And the problem is not just to say something, like they make decisions for their young people.
Yeah, which is very wrong. You know, let's say for instance, making a decision for, let's say, a life partner. That's
They do it.
They do. That's
do
what I'm
it.
saying.
When you talk about marriage, they do what is it called? Like
betrothed.
Yeah, like somebody, and some. But even though the good thing is that you get to meet the person that they
And
are,
then be with the person for a while, they understand the person before you can accept, then but then still you can't even say no. Even if you understand the person or you say you don't want, you can't say no because they've already decided. So they do that most times because they want to maintain friendship, maybe they want to maintain a work relationship, maybe they just want to maintain a lot of things.
And I'm the reward for that
And
friendship.
do you understand? That's just something that you feel like they're using you now to get to achieve something, which is something I feel it's not actually right. But then it is something they do, and then it's their culture, it's their tradition, and then they've accepted it, like they're doing it right. But right now over there, like whatever it is I'm doing, like I just want to make my own decision, like whatsoever it is, at least so far as it's going to make you happy, so far as it's going to put a smile on your face. There's something you do when you try to make someone feel sad, and then deep inside, even if you're happy. For me though, even if I'm happy and I feel someone is not happy, I just feel bad, because it's more like this person is not happy. Maybe I did something, or maybe there's something that just happened to this person. At least you just try to talk to the person, you just try to make the person feel okay, just to put a smile on the person's face. Bahraini as people that are lovely, so you can't just say you're not happy, or you can't just say you're there and then you're not achieving anything. That's not true. If you find yourself there anywhere in Bahrain, you are going to be comfortable, you're going to be happy, you're going to achieve all that is expected of you to achieve. So then you have to find yourself in Bahrain, like meet us there and do whatever it is you want to do, so we have fun together.
Yes, and I still want to stress on their marriage. Most times, like the earlier, before now, the women didn't have the right to choose a life partner. And then most times it is like they start getting married at the age of 12, 13. But now in Bahrain, with the education and then the development that has come to stay, it is gradually changing. It is progressive, because the women, in fact, you can go to school, you can go to secondary school, you can finish, you can go to the university, you can get done as a lady, and then you can even start working before thinking that you want to get married. Not like before that, if a child of 12 years is already having a man that is waiting for her to be in his house. And I wonder how children can be married just like that. Like, what is the communication there? What do you tell yourselves? Like, what is it? But thank God that it has changed now, where the young people can make decisions for themselves, till the time they feel is right for them to get married. But even though it's not all families, there are families that are still keen on having their young ones get married at early age. But I think this early age marriage is actually almost everywhere. It is not just in Bahrain, but it's more like we want to stop the young ones from doing, or like knowing, maybe having too much exposure. But trust me, even in their marital homes, if they want to be exposed to something, they can. There is internet right now where people don't even need to go out for them to be bad, or go out for them to see things that are bad. So we have to, it is, and I think that is why they had to look for ways to just make these young people not to be more hypocritical, but like just express yourself the way you would want to be expressed. You want to express yourself, because just imagine when you tell the young one not to do something, and then they have their phones to themselves, and they have the internet. They can go there and do whatever they want to do there without you knowing. So is it not better, you try to talk to your young ones, and you know how children can be. They get very comfortable when you talk to them. When you said your dad was very strict, my dad was too over free to the extent that we were even abusing it as children. Like we didn't know that it was time for us to stop. Like he will have people in the house, and we will just jump on him, do some kind of things. One day he said, "You guys are grown.
So
stop it." Like, do you know the day he said we should stop playing with him like that? We were like, really?
Like,
and you know how children, when you're used to something, and then your father is not telling you it is time for you to stop, you start feeling like your father doesn't love you anymore.
That's true. That's the mentality we have,
But it's not like that. It's just the moral. It's just them, trying to let you know that, okay, this life is in process. There's this stage, there's that stage, and then you have to know that these stages, you have to follow them, and then you have to do it as it comes. So it is actually a good thing for parents to actually be open to their children, because they will get to tell them. My dad, I tell him so many things I don't tell my mom, because he was more closer to us than she was, because she was a very, very busy person. So it was more like, she wasn't very strict. But when her voice is heard, trust me, you arrange, but then that is how a family should just, children should just
say, your dad was really free. It got to some point that I got very close to my dad, that I could actually say anything I want to say, and I don't have a problem. It got to a point that they can actually call me to say, okay, I want to talk to him, but I don't know what to say, or I don't know how to go about it. And I'll be like, okay, don't worry, I can do this for you. You understand? So
Linda, the advisor, but I think it's time for us to take one of the most delicious dishes these people have, which is actually the match ball. I don't know if I'm right. That is one of the best dishes there, but it is time for us to go on a break, and that is what we are going to be having. You are still watching the Midday Show live, and we are still talking about Bahrain. Yeah, I love calling that name.
Of course, it's so, like saying it alone is Bahrain.
Well, another thing these people love doing is soccer. They have this kind of community soccer where they play, the men though, they play football, they have horse racing. But another interesting thing I know is that they love hunting though, but the hunters mostly are, the wealthy people, and it's more like a fun thing. It's not like, okay, them going to go kill animals. No, it is just like them going to visit the nature. So they just want to go there and see what is happening in the bushes in their own trucks or cars. So it's not like the one that they will go overnight just for them to wait for that buffalo that is coming for them to kill and go and make meat. But it's actually fun that hunting is for the wealthy people. Trust me, in some places it's not for the wealthy people. There are wealthy people who don't even know how the bushes are looking. So it is interesting that in Bahrain, hunting is for wealthy people. And one thing I like, just the way you mentioned earlier, how these people, how the place is actually very sunny, and hardly will you see rain. And I'm like, here people are like, oh, August rain, like 5 days straight raining. And these people, because of the way that their weather is, they had to, like, their roads became so narrow because they had to plant some trees for them to give them shades as you walk on the street, so that you don't get too tired. And it is more like these people love making themselves comfortable.
Of course.
Yeah, so it is when you know you're not comfortable in a type of way, you have to look for a way to make yourself comfortable, and that is what these people do. They make themselves comfortable by having those trees. And trust me, if you go to these people's homes are actually very beautiful. They are very, very neat people. Yes, and most of the countries where you see, or like the people, especially the women, are most times in the house, taking care of the house. This kind of countries are always very clean,
Very clean.
beautiful, because they just be at home. The boredom
Of
is
course,
of another
of
level.
course,
Like it's just like, but this is something they grew up in it,
Yeah,
so
they
they are
used
so
to.
used to it. But trust me, since 19 something,
Okay.
I've been out. Like, trust me.
Of course.
So it has been like a business for my family. So like since when I was little, I was always going out. I was always doing things for myself. Before a particular age, I was doing things for myself. I was buying things for myself. I was like, and then my friends were like, really? Like, you
Yeah,
can
well,
do
like
this. But I
really.
said, yeah, that is the kind of family I am. So it is something that you're used to, that you just start growing up to just. So I just feel like it is going to be like a death sentence for me when you tell
Yeah,
me
of
that I'm
course.
getting married today and I'm not going to be able to go
Be able
out
to go out
and do
again, like you just
something.
have to be indoors. Like yeah, of course, like they are used to it. Like you can't just be here and then you feel you're married to this person, or you're getting married to this person and then you're not going to do anything again, you're just going to be home. At some point it's actually interesting for you to know that there's someone doing all these things for you, but then again,
Take care of your
not,
bills too.
of course you need to take care of some things. Like there are things you find very difficult to just say, okay, I need you to do this, or I want you to do this for me. Like you just want to do it yourself. That's actually a stage of responsibility, for you to feel you're opting up to yourself, for you to do things for yourself. It's actually something interesting. Like I feel so excited when I do something for myself, like personally.
And there are so many women too also in Bahrain that just feel like, okay, they are being caged, not doing exactly what they want to do because of the culture. Because no matter how they are used to that culture, there are people who are not used to it. There are people who are even old in it, but still don't find it funny, having to stay at home as a woman, just to take care of the
I've been
home.
salivating since. What about the food? I'm not going to talk about the food
You
again.
love food.
Of course, I do love food. Like, I don't get it. Do you want me to look malnourished? Do you want me to look like I'm suffering? No.
Do I look
No,
malnourished?
you don't. So you don't love food.
I don't know if I love food actually. I
Wow.
love eating. Let me just eat and I'm just be fine, but I'm not a foodie. I'm not somebody who just wants. I can sit down and crave for some things, but I'm not just somebody that will just sit there and say, food now, food.
Yeah, but at least you're craving for
You love
something.
food.
I do. Like,
Talk about the
there's
food.
okay, we're talking about mash balls, and then it said it consists of fish and meat. You can eat it with white rice and any other thing. Like when I was like, I love to eat this because it's something that once you're eating it, like you just feel so happy because you're excited eating. How do you feel when you're eating something you craved for? When you crave for something, when you be like, I want this, and then you get it, you actually want to feel it, like you want to eat it deep inside of
Oh
you.
my God.
Of course, because you're craving for that, you want to eat it, and then it's beautiful. Like just the sight of it alone is beautiful. Not to talk of you eating it. The taste is amazing. So you can't just tell me you're still back to get something to eat. No, like once you are back and then you feel you are famished, like there's nothing else again. There's no more strength in you. So you need something to give you strength.
Okay, let me ask you this question.
Okay.
Is it proper for you to wake up in the morning and just start eating something without brushing and then brush later, or it is proper for you to brush before eating?
Okay. It actually depends on what you want.
There are some things you will like, but it's not like health-wise, it's not like it's advisable, right?
Actually,
I don't like brushing before eating something. I would rather just eat something and
before you
have the
brush.
taste before brushing, because after the toothpaste in your mouth is like,
then like the taste is going to go out, like you're not going to feel it again. Yeah, some people would say it's hygienic for you to brush before you eat in the morning, and some would say no, you have to eat before. Like for me, Sha, either ways, it works for me. It works for me either ways. It could be a time that I'll wake up and then I'm feeling very hungry and then you're telling me to go and brush. Or maybe, for instance, there's nothing for you to eat and then immediately you just get something to eat and you want to tell me to go and brush first. No, there's no time for that because you just want to eat at that moment. Like, you just want to have that thing for yourself. So brushing before eating, eating before brushing, all works for me.
Okay.
So I don't have a problem with that.
All right, that takes us straight to the medical and then, social welfare. These people actually they are growing in terms of, healthcare, and their healthcare system is actually so good. It is even free for even people who work there. You don't necessarily have to be from Berlin, but I mean, Bahrain. You don't have to be from Bahrain, but as long as you're there, you're working there, you have the right to, the medical care. And trust me, they have trained medical personnel. But another thing is, the female don't actually treat the male.
Of course, yeah. So that's why definitely they will tell you they need to train you as a female separately.
Yes, but, and most of the female actually are nurses.
Yeah.
And then they said, okay, because of the fact that the male cannot operate the female. So the female,
go and then go to school to be a doctor, be a nurse, because you need to attend to all these people. Like they said, since the Barbarians are people who tolerate a lot of things, like they tolerate everything that people do, even people that come from different places. So it's more like even if you are ill, they get to give you that attention that it's needed. They don't just, they said the medical attention over there increased. Then it became something that even if you just come there, you just want to see a doctor, there are places where you go to, you realize you have more than 500 people trying to see just 2 or 3 doctors, and then it's not possible for them to see you and give you that attention you need. But in Bahrain, over here, like, you just, anytime you want to see a doctor, you are allowed to see the doctor, and then you see him, he'll give you that attention, he'll take care of you and give you all the things that you need, give you all the medication, all the things that is accepted for you at that particular time. Like, you don't just feel like maybe he's not on seat, or because they are many over there. So you cannot just say I can't go to the hospital right now because they might not attend to me, maybe there are a lot of people, I'll go later. But no, when you come here and then you realize you're seeing a doctor, you see him at the time you want to, and then you get the attention that is needed, and then you get yourself treated and you're looking good. So how would you say you're in a place and you're not okay? Bahrainians are people that will actually give you the best, and then the thing is, they want you to respect their culture. That's all. Even if you're coming from anywhere, they welcome people a lot. So even if you're coming from anywhere, any part of the world, and as far as you're with them, so far as you are respecting their culture, you don't have a problem with them. And it's actually something, because it is good for you to realize you're in a place and you're doing what is right. You live in peace, because you realize, like, for me though, like, I have a rule in my room particularly, that when you enter my room, like, there are a lot of things that you won't do in my room. That's the truth. Then when you try to do that, no, you can't. Nobody has done that. Even when I was in school, not talk about home, and nobody
I would like
has
to
done
know
that.
it so that I will break the rule.
Okay, I'll tell you maybe much later. But then there are rules over there, and then they just take it. So far as you can accept it and then you respect it, then you're good to go. Like, you'll be very comfortable. You feel, they said most of the people in Bahrain are not even the Bahrainis. There are people that just came from different places on tourists and all of that. So it's more like once you find yourself in Bahrain, just do the right thing, and then you'll be good with them. Like, they will not have any issue with you.
Of course, when you go to people, like, that's why, you have to learn about people before you go to see them, so that, you just can't just act the other way. Talking about not breaking their rule, one of the things they really, really, take off, as a priority is, people dressing modestly. Like, you can't come there and then just expose yourself anyhow. The women, they cover up. In fact, most of the women rarely will you see their faces.
Their faces, of course.
So if you see someone's face, then you just know, okay, probably this person is not from here. Or the young ones, actually, you see, like, in like 100 people, you see probably like 10 of them
Yeah.
or
Just
5,
5, like just
or 5 that don't really,
yeah,
cover their
cover
faces.
themselves.
And I wonder how, and they're actually very beautiful
Of course,
people.
they're
So I think
beautiful.
that's why they are covering their
Yeah, I
faces.
guess so they don't get to attract people a lot to them or something.
Hey.
Yeah, of course, it's something interesting to know because when you are like you don't just want to show their beauty because they are very beautiful. Like they are beautiful. So
But God created us, in his own image.
remember
We are
culture.
beautiful.
Of course,
Why are we hiding it? It is
it's
more
the
like
culture.
I'm not appreciating what God
God,
has
God has
given me.
given me. Yeah, true.
Sometimes we need to flaunt some
Of
kind
course,
of
like
gift
to
or
show
some
it.
kind of,
Mm-hmm.
to show the greatest,
Yeah.
creative person who actually created us. So it's just more like appreciating, but just the way, we are talking. This
Yeah.
is their culture. This is how they do things. So I think everybody should respect the fact that we are coming from different
Different
places.
places.
We
Yeah.
have different perspective and opinions about things. So when you go somewhere, you have to
You
up.
have to have respect
It
it.
is. It is not all about. It is, in fact, when you go somewhere, it is not about you at
Of
all.
course,
It
not
is
at
about the
all.
people, because you must have known some of the things that are
Of
happening there
course.
before you went there. So, especially when you have something you need to achieve, then you need to work with what you can, work with. And but the good thing about them, the good thing I like is the fact that you have to be modest if you're staying in
Bahrain.
Bahrain. I'm also just in Berlin. I think we should
Bahrain,
just go to
Bahrain.
Berlin soon. But then another thing again is, for the fact that their wives or their women, are staying home. Most times you don't have you rarely see the cases of children going to maybe crèche, or
Yeah,
going
of course, they
to
homeschool them.
daycare, because the women take care of these young people at early stage. And trust me, it is really important that women or mothers have this kind of connection
Of
with their
course,
young
have that
ones,
time.
especially in a country where the young ones don't really have the say,
Of
or they don't
course,
really have the opportunity to say
to say
something.
something.
In Berlin, in Bahrain,
Bahrain.
the young ones actually, talk more with their parents, with their moms,
Moms
so
especially.
sometimes they will like sit down, talk to them freely. So when the time comes for them to present the case,
Know how to
their
present it.
women,
Yeah.
are the ones who always, talk to their husbands,
Husbands.
or the older ones who are there to talk about some kind of things. When you say something, the woman will be like, I
I
think
think it should
it
be
will be
like this.
better when you
Yeah.
do it this way, because she knows her children. Just imagine a situation where you're in this kind of country and you don't have a mom to talk to.
Oops.
It is going to be
Very
very, very
difficult.
difficult for you to,
Be able to
find
express
yourself.
yourself.
You can't find yourself
Yeah.
because you cannot express yourself, and it is more like everything is intimidating when you go
Of
to the
course.
school. And sometimes I wonder how as a person, you go to school and they said don't express yourself.
How
Not really
possible
don't
is
express
that?
yourself, but you don't even have
The right to.
the right to
Yeah.
say some kind of things or do some kind of things. But then God is helping them.
God is helping them. It's actually, when you talk about culture, when you talk about rules, when you talk about abiding to it, like, they actually feel it is something that they are used to already. So they're trying to talk to your mom to express yourself because it's more like it's a division of labor over there, like, because if you realize you can talk to your mom, if you realize you can express yourself, it's a joyful thing for you, because for you to just sit and not be able to talk is a sad thing, because you can't just say this is how I feel, this is what I want. It could be that somebody is even doing something to you in school. It could be that somebody is even trying to harass you, trying to make you feel uncomfortable. Then you can't even talk to yourself. But as far as you have a mom that you can talk to, you're coming back from school, you meet her at home, you can tell her this thing happened. So that they'll know how to curtail, they know how to go about all those things. So it's actually an interesting thing for you to know that once you are here in Bahrain, you are supposed to, you can express yourself to your mom, and your mom will take it up from there. She can take care of it from there, and then you realize you're actually happy. You realize growing up will be fun for you no matter how it is. So then you can't say you are not doing it right, you can't say you're not getting it right, but then everything has to be right because you have a mom beside you.
But on a lighter note, have you seen a situation where you just told somebody something and then the person is telling the next person and is saying it differently and you're like, oh, is this what I just said?
Yeah.
So,
Actually, true,
but
true.
firsthand, information is supposed to be
Yeah.
firsthand and it is
To
going
learn
to be
from the
more
horse's
helpful.
mouth.
But then this is what these people do and this is their life for the fact that they are loving, fun people, they love shopping, they love taking care of their wives, they love doing some kind of things. Doesn't mean, that there are some things, doesn't mean that everything is okay.
Yeah,
There are
of
some,
course.
shaky tables too, but then it is a lovely place. So did you enjoy it?
Of course I did. Like, I want to.
So can we just go home?
No, please, not yet.
I'm
But
leaving you here.
okay, fine, we can go.
Better. Thank you everyone for watching the Midday Show
Thank
live.
you.
And you had me and you had my dear sister here, Linda Philip Ali.
Yeah.
And we say
Thank you.
bye-bye for now. We'll see you next time like we never left.
Bye.
Bye-bye.